On March 15th, 2019, experienced hiker Sarah Mitchell sent a selfie to her husband at exactly 2:47 p.m. She was smiling, standing at the summit of Devil's Peak Trail, but what her husband noticed in the background of that photo would change everything. Sarah never came home that day. She left her house at 9 a.m., telling her husband Tom she'd be back by 5 p.m. for their dinner reservations. She packed light: water, granola bars, her phone, and a small first aid kit. It was supposed to be just another routine hike. Sarah's phone records show she was actively using it throughout the morning. She posted Instagram stories of wildflowers, texted her sister about a work project, and even left a voicemail for her dentist to reschedule an appointment. At 2:47 p.m., she reached the summit and took that selfie. The photo showed her wearing a bright red jacket, her blonde hair in a ponytail with the valley stretching behind her. But here's where it gets strange. In the background, barely visible, was another hiker, a person in dark clothing, standing perfectly still, facing Sarah's direction. Tom didn't notice this detail until 3 days later when police asked him to examine every photo carefully. When Sarah didn't return by 6 p.m., Tom called her phone. It went straight to voicemail. By 8 p.m., he was panicking and called the police. Search and rescue teams were deployed at first light. They found Sarah's car in the trailhead parking lot, exactly where she'd left it. Her keys were still in the ignition. The search team included helicopters, drones, and K9 units. They covered every inch of that trail for 5 days straight. And here's what made no sense. They found absolutely nothing. No clothing, no phone, no sign of a struggle. It was as if Sarah had simply vanished into thin air at the summit. On day 6, a volunteer searcher found something odd. About 200 meters down the north face of the peak, an area far off the main trail, there was a single granola bar wrapper, the same brand Sarah had packed. But what confused investigators was the location. To reach that spot, Sarah would have had to deliberately climb down a steep, rocky section with no clear path. Why would an experienced hiker do that? Then, another hiker came forward. He'd been on the trail that same day and passed a woman matching Sarah's description around 2 p.m. But he said she wasn't alone. She was talking to someone, though he couldn't see who because they were behind a large boulder. Police analyzed Sarah's phone records and found something disturbing. At 3:02 p.m., just 15 minutes after the summit selfie, her phone received 3 calls from an unknown number with a blocked caller ID. Each call lasted less than 10 seconds. The phone's last known location pinged from a cell tower near the summit, then suddenly went offline at 3:15 p.m. It was never turned on again. Investigators tried to trace the blocked number, but hit a dead end. The calls came from a burner phone that was never used again. Who was calling Sarah, and why did her phone go dead immediately after? Months passed with no breaks in the case. Then, a retired FBI profiler named Detective James Chen reviewed the case files and noticed something everyone else had missed. That figure in the background of Sarah's selfie? When enhanced by forensic imaging, they could see the person was holding something. It looked like a phone, pointed directly at Sarah. Detective Chen theorized that Sarah might have been followed. The mysterious calls, the figure in the photo, the witness seeing her talk to someone, it all suggested this wasn't an accident. But if someone had targeted Sarah, why? She had no enemies, no threatening situations in her life, no reason for anyone to harm her. Today, more than 5 years later, Sarah Mitchell is still missing. Her case remains open. Tom still lives in their Denver home, keeping Sarah's belongings exactly as she left them. Every year, on March 15th, he hikes to the summit of Devil's Peak and places flowers where his wife took her last known photo. Devil's Peak Trail is still open to the public, but hikers report an eerie feeling near the summit, especially around 3 p.m. Some say they've seen a figure in dark clothing, standing motionless among the rocks. Others claim they've received strange calls on their phones while hiking, calls that disconnect before anyone speaks. Is it coincidence, or is something still watching from the shadows of Devil's Peak? What do you think happened to Sarah Mitchell? Share your theories in the comments below. If you found this story gripping, subscribe for more mysterious disappearances and unsolved cases. Your support helps bring attention to these forgotten stories. See you in the next one.